Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are live back at it, baby. We are at it again. Myself, Conor Mac. We're back with the PGA National. We're doing a little Honda Classic. But before we get into the Honda Classic, guys, subscribe down below. Pub Sports Radio, PGA Pub Hub, every 1 p.m. Eastern. If you didn't already know, myself and Conor, we okay week. Cantlay was my one guy, Conor. He was there, just couldn't make a putt. It was really a two-horse race the whole week, guys, if you didn't watch it, between Max Homa and Jon Rahm. And Jon Rahm he did it again, Conor. I think that's his second or third win already this year. So he's just been on an absolute tear, guys. Golfer of the year, #1 in the world now. But yeah, how you doing, Conor?
I'm good. Did not have a great week. Yeah. So I had Homa and Cantlay. And I had to make the move after 12 because I had some Seamus Power top 20, but he didn't get in the top 10. So I didn't really have anything. So I had to go with some Jon Rahm there. And when he was down one, what happens? I'm glad I did it. A decent price. And
nice.
One thing with Homa, the driver eluded him there on the back. He started spraying it. Even Rahm was going left, but that killed Max in the end. And Jon Rahm, you just got to tip your hat. He's the best golfer in the world right now. It's sickening.
But one thing, Conor, what happened on that hole there when Max went left and he was in kind of the gully there and he pulled out the 5-wood or something there?
Yeah, that was a bad decision.
That was the decision. Yeah, his caddy says the lie I'd say is unknown. He goes, well, let me pull out the 5-wood. It's like, man, you're trying to hero shot this. Like, that's something I do with the boys. But yeah, he should have, because he made it worse there, hit the tree. He almost made the par, had a nice putt there, had a chance for it, but just wasn't able to capitalize. So it was a tough back nine for Max. But, Jon Rahm, just best player in the world. And if you watch the interview from Max, that's pretty much what he was saying. He gave everything he could. It's tough beating Jon Rahm, guys.
Yeah, no Jon Rahm here. though.
No, the field this week. Holy Jesus, guys, you want to talk about an easy field? Actually, before we get into the field and the bets and everything here, shout out to everyone in the chat. Jacqueline, hello, Jacqueline. Dan Kelly, what's going on, Danny? Shout out to the OG here. Tiger handling JT with that tampon. Yeah, that was something else there. He had to apologize for that, and probably wishes the cameras. You know, when you got all those cameras on you, Tiger, it's gonna happen, right? But yeah, if John was in this field, his odds would be -110 maybe. This field's there's a couple top players. We'll get into it here. What's going on, Chris Commentini? Our guy Dabby Cab. Shout out to Dabby Cab. Look forward to meeting with you again in March here, my guy. But yeah, let's get into this week, guys. Last week didn't do the greatest, and wasn't able to hit it outright, but got a good feel for this week, guys. We're moving on to the Florida swing. We're going to FLA, baby. Palm Beach Gardens. That just sounds nice, Connor. Like I want to go to Palm Beach Gardens, wherever that is in Florida. Actually, one of my buddies is down there right now. Shout out to Atef. Honda Classic, though, this week, guys. PGA National Members Club. So right away, this is it's a nice golf course, to say the least. It's not a long golf course. It's a par 70, 7,125 yards. Fazio design, redesigned also by Jack Nicklaus, the legend there. The Bear, as you guys know, redid this in 2014. There's some locals here, Connor. I don't know about you, but I want to know who the locals are in Florida, or at least who live in this area and who play a lot of golf here. Let's do up the last button there. I got to be professional. But yeah, locals to this golf course. Ryan Armour, guys. Luke Donald, Shane Lowry, Denny McCarthy, Alex Noren, Patrick Rogers, Eric Van Rooyen, Adam Svensson, and Hayden Buckley are just some locals we're going to be seeing at this golf course. And whenever you got some locals, I talked about it last week, Connor, Thigala, Cantlay, and Morikawa, all those golfers, I believe, finished in the top 20, if not top 10 last week. So familiarity at where you played, at least grew up playing or live in the area of the States, that definitely comes into the equation. So those are some golfers, actually two of them, one of them for sure on our card here coming up, excuse me, and another one might be added. So look forward to that. Weaker field, as Connor and I were saying, no big names. The biggest name you're going to see here, Sung J M, 18th in the official World Golf ranking. And then you got Billy Horschel, Shane Lowry, and Sepp Straka. So Sepp Straka being the fourth best at 30th ranked in the world. DP World Tour editions, Connor. These guys are in the top 50, or at least the top, 20, I would say, odds this week. One of them are in the top 5, that being Min-Woo Lee. He's making his first appearance in a while, guys. This guy's been on fire. We'll get into Min-Woo Lee over in the DP World Tour. And another guy who played last week, actually, and that's big Adrian Meronk, finished, I believe, 50th or something like that last week. So he's another golfer that's playing over now in the PGA, which is good to see because these are two big names on the DP World Tour that are now on the PGA. So, some more things to go over. Past champs, you had Straka, Jones, M, and Mitchell. About the golf course, this is a very tough track, Connor. Like the winning scores, -10, -12, -6, -9. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not very. You're not going to -20, -15. But the one thing, the weather. I checked some of the weather, guys. It's going to be hot compared to what we've seen, or at least up here in Canada. It's going to be. I have Fahrenheit for you guys, 84 Fahrenheit, and the wind's not going to be that bad, 4 to 7 miles per hour. So the defense isn't going to really be there this week, I think, Connor. So you could see, I would say, closer to the -15 this week, at least -12 with the weaker conditions. It's the 5th toughest on the par 3s, though, here. So right away, par 3s, you're going to want to be able to take advantage of because they're 5th toughest at every track in the PGA here. So there's something you want to put in your equation. Number 1 here is the toughest approach on tour. So with all the water and all the penalties, you're definitely shots gained on approach is not easy to come by here. So you want to have strong approach, or it's going to be tested this week at the PGA National Club. Excuse me. Driver's not needed also here, Connor. Average distance is only 276 off the tee, 7th shortest on the whole tour too, guys. So it's not going to be more of a, you can use the driver, don't get me wrong, but a lot of dog legs you don't necessarily need. It's going to be more of a 3-wood track, I would say here. So that's something else to note. 13 toughest scoring on tour. So like I said, you're not going to see those deep -20s. 8th most penalty strokes on this golf course. So a lot of water to worry about. And then 16th toughest greens in regulation. So again, approach is going to be very important here, Connor. That's what the main stat I'd say you want to look at. Greens in regulation from the fairway. Fairway percentage is like 67%, which is pretty high. Or I think it was 66, one of the two, but it's pretty high for fairways. It's not very tough to miss the fairway. It's more going to be that approach from the fairway, guys. So fairway from 150, we'll get into those stats as well. But yeah, that's what I got, Connor. What's going on with you?
Yeah, it's a tough golf course, like you're talking about. A lot of water. You got to hit it straight, but that's the name of the game, basically anywhere. But yeah, I like this golf course, and I don't, even with those conditions, I think 12 might be it. I mean, there always could be go lower, but I think that's right around the score this week. 10, 12.
Yeah, no. I would say 12, 15 with no wind or weather conditions.
Maybe.
Like it's I think personally I'd say -12. A hot putter, that's again what it comes down to with all golf tournaments, but with not as much wind, you're going to see some guys though like +10 miss the cut. Like when you go in the water, when a bad round goes bad, Connor, we all know it can just explode, and with all this water, it can just you can see some guys flipping out here. Some stats. Yeah, absolutely. Some stats I want to just go over quickly here, guys. Straka, Jones, and M, the past 3 winners, they all played the year before, and they all at least made the cut. Straka had a T27, a T33, Connor, and then he was first. Jones, T47, T36, first. Sung J M, T51, and then won the year after. So familiarity at the golf course is going to be important. And that's why one of my golfers here, I might pull a 360 on. I'm really close on it. We'll talk about it soon here. But I think familiarity, Connor, is going to be important leading into this course. Driving accuracy, shots gained approach, par 3 scoring, par 4 scoring as well. Being a par 70, you're getting 2 less par 5s here, so more par 4s. Bogey avoidance is going to be important too here, guys. You're going to have to avoid bogey avoidance. The birdies are not going to be the birdies aren't going to be nearly to be as had as some of the other courses. So bogey avoidance is going to be key. Tee to green kind of winner. Past performances at PGA National are important, like we were going over for the past 3 winners, guys, and then also current form is also something you want to take into note. So those are some stats. I could go over all the golfers here, guys, but it's really just me throwing names at you. So rather than just throwing all these random names at you, I'm going to get into some golfers that I do like this week, Connor. Let's get into it. Any questions in the chat here before? It's like It's like the session's about to begin here. All right, guys, here's the six-pack for this week. We're doing a little going a little off the grid. Like we said, not many top golfers in this, so let's start it off with one that you might not know, but we're talking DP World Tour, Connor. Minwoo Lee. Minwoo Lee, he's been waiting to kind of itch at the bit. He wasn't at the Genesis, pretty much tweeting out like he's ready to go. Excuse me, at this week. He's 25-1, 35-1 first round leader, top 10 plus 275. But if you're just looking at what Minwoo Lee's been doing this year, guys, in the whole world, looking at PGA, DP World Tour, all the leagues really, even live, he's top 20 tee to green. That's perfect for a stat. Second one is approach. It's tough to find stats for DP World Tour, but his approach is 15th best at all tours in the world. So his approach and his tee to green is right there. And then if you're looking at what he's done this year, Connor, T13, he's been second, third, and then fourth. And not to mention, guys, what did he do at the Masters when he showed up? He came 14th. So this is a guy in a field like this. That's why his number's kind of low at 25, but he can definitely just put on a ball striking clinic and kind of do what fellow Aussie, actually, now that I think about it, Matt Jones, he ran away with this tournament. I believe it was, what did he finish at? Minus 12. You know, if his game's on, I could see Minwoo Lee, another Australian here, winning this tournament this week, Connor. His numbers, it's getting low. If you can get 25, no less than 22, I would want on Minwoo Lee. But I think he's got a really good shot this week, Connor. Even before his stats this year, going back to like October, November, he was T12, T8, third, and third. So you want to talk about it. He hasn't been outside of the top 20 in his last, 8 events. So Minwoo Lee, he's got to be on the card this week.
Yeah, I think I might use him as well and see if you can get over 30-1, because a lot of places now I see 25, and I was hoping to get him. You got over 30?
No, I got 25. That's the best I found. Yeah.
Man, I was hoping I could get over 30 with him. 35, I thought it'd be a steal. But they know how good he is and how well he's playing. That's why he's there. So,
his numbers
I don't mind playing.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, because other than he hasn't played though, Connor, since January 29th. So it's been almost a month. That's the only thing kind of going against him. But he's pretty big on social media there, Minwoo Lee, and he's pretty much just been posting like he's ready to go for this. Like he's been in Florida just waiting for this. So he's been there for the last 3 weeks too, since his last event. I think Minwoo Lee, guys, expect him to be right there. The top 10, like I said, was at plus 275. So that's going to start off the card this week. Minwoo Lee, DP World Tour. Number 2. Now, this number 2, I'm going to be straight up with you guys. I'm torn between 2 of them, Connor. It was between Chris Kirk, who I did play, but I'm still thinking about this other golfer, and he did pretty well last week. It's Denny McCarthy. Denny McCarthy, he's been right there. He finished T14 last week. His approach was decent. Gained 0.61. His putting, was 1.73. And one of the golfers that I said lives in this area, it's Denny McCarthy. He's got a weaker field too. I don't know. I'm almost making more cases for Denny. Reasons why I took Chris Kirk. He's really good at bouncing back off of a miscut. He had a miscut, then did not play last week. Let me just find Chris Kirk here. Best thing going for him would be his bogey avoidance here. He's a really good bogey avoidance, par 4 scoring, along with approach, 47th. He's 94th green in regulation from 150 out. If you're just looking at the numbers, you know what? I might almost have to do a full 360 here, guys. Denny McCarthy, I'm just looking at his numbers. He's 33rd greens in regulation from 150 out. He's 20th in par 4, 36 bogey avoidance. Only thing going against him would be a bit of his approach, but his approach has been good. You know what? If the odds are the same after this show, guys, I know I don't usually do this, and hopefully Chris Kirk does not win this one, Captain Kirk, but you know, I know Kirk there. I did some research. He's from Georgia. He lives in the Georgia area, Sea Island. So I'm going to give a slight advantage here to Denny McCarthy. So the odds, I believe, are the same. It'll be right around 30-1. So I know we have Kirk down there, guys, but hopefully you're not on mute and you're listening to us, because Denny McCarthy, just being the local native, coming off a good performance, T14 in a much tougher field. And just looking at another thing, Connor, what did the 2 winners do the last 2 years, Straka and Jones. Jones had a T8 at the Genesis, and Straka had a T15. So both of the last 2 winners, too, which aren't really big names like Jones and Straka. You got Denny McCarthy, who's a little bit, I'd say a slightly bigger name than those two, but he had a T14, so he fits the bill a little more than Chris Kirk, I guess I could say here. But what do you think, Connor? I guess I should throw it to you. What do you think between those two golfers, Chris Kirk, Denny McCarthy?
I like them both. I like how Denny McCarthy's playing, and Chris Kirk has played well. And he had, going through it. He had a 7th tier last year. Obviously he's comfortable at this course. I kind of roll with McCarthy. Don't know why, because I looked at him too. I just don't love the number right now.
Yeah,
really to take him, because I do think he wins at some point. I mean, this week he's just under 30-1, and I don't love the, his top 10's right around 3-1. I don't know. I don't know if I use McCarthy or not.
Yeah, like looking here, because I think it's going to be Florida he wins, Connor. He's got the Honda, the Arnold Palmer the week after is going to be tough. The Players is going to be tough. Then he'll have the Valspar if he's even playing in that. So I think this might be the one. If he has a chance, Denny, it could be here. Now, Chris Kirk, though, go over some notes I have for Kirk. He putts really well in Bermuda. Like, this is where he's going to thrive as well. Missed the RSM, but gained 2.75 strokes. He was 3rd at Hawaii. And I like Hawaii as a similar kind of comparison here, Connor. Smaller track, smaller greens on Bermuda as well. And then also the Amex, American Express, butchering that. He came 3rd there. So he again performs well in this type of grass. So between both of them, it's kind of flip a coin, eh? So as of now, I got a gut feel like if Denny McCarthy wins this, and I'm on Kirk, I'll kind of be kicking myself. So I will be switching it to McCarthy there. I'll take him. I think it was 30-1 I found there. I'll tweet it out, guys, eco47_. But just making a little more cases. I think if there's a week for Denny to do it, I think this could be the one. So I'm going to dig a little 360 we don't usually do here on the show. But since this was a holiday for everyone, a little more time to cap this. And I think Denny's a little more value. So that's number 2 on the card there, guys. Denny McCarthy, switch out for Chris Kirk. Number 3 is going to be Thomas Dietrich. Now, Thomas Dietrich's another guy, more DP World Tour, but has played a lot lately on the PGA. Another golfer, though, I could almost make a case to not take him. Only reason would be is just seeing what the last 3 winners have done, guys. They've all won on this track. They've at least played this track before. Denny has not. Not Denny. Still hung up on Denny McCarthy. Thomas Dietrich has not, but looking at what he's done this year on the Bermuda Championship, he came 2nd. Sanderson Farms, which was on Bermuda, he was 9th, gained 1.1 strokes putting. The American Express, he was T26, gained 1.37. And then another thing that really helps Dietrich, he's best in the field by far, Connor. Par 4s, he's 6th on the PGA. Bogey avoidance, he's 8th, and then reverse bounce back. So coming off of a bogey, he's 3rd, because I think there'll be a lot of golfers coming off, they'll be bogeying. So how do you do kind of reverse bounce back off that, right? So he's by far really good and just kind of tougher fields. And I think you're going to see that this week. Only thing going against Thomas here, Dietrich, is that he hasn't played this that much, but he's a golfer that starts off really hot. He's good at coming out of the gate. We got him 40-1, guys, outright 40-1 first round leader. He's 10th this year, first round scoring. So be sure to take that. Excuse me. And then top 10, I have Dietrich at plus 350. Just playing really good golf, guys. Looking at his total strokes gained, he's gained strokes in 2, 4, 6, 8 of his last 10 this year, along with 2 top 10s. So and a weaker field, Thomas Dietrich, good at that bogey avoidance. He should be fine here. What do you think of Dietrich, Connor?
Yeah, he's a gritty guy. Can get it up and down. I've used him a lot, and I think he'll be knocking at the door. You mentioned not playing here is kind of the one thing, but he's played good golf. A lot of top 20s, top 30s so far this year. And he's a guy I don't know if I'm going to play or not. There's a lot of guys at these numbers that's just like, I don't know whether it's Svensson. Harris English has played well here. And he hasn't played good golf. He was good last week. What did he finish? T12. He had a big Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's So those are the kind of guys at this number at I was looking at around 35 to 45 to 1. Cam Davis. So
Yeah.
I don't blame you for using him.
Absolutely. Actually, one guy is going to be next on my card. You brought him up there, Adam Svensson. His number was good enough. I found him 45 to 1, Connor. Found it at 45 to 1. So 45 to 1 outright, guys. 50 to 1 first round leader, and then a top 20 at plus 200. Adam Svensson. Shout out to Canada. He's actually living right there in Palm Beach Gardens. He's a local from there. And what did he do last week? He was in the top 10, I believe. Adam Svensson here. Very common name for Canadians, Adam Hadwin, Adam Svensson. But anyways, Genesis, he came 9th last week, guys. His approach is slowly getting better. That's the only thing that goes against him slightly here is that his approach, he was scrambling was unbelievable. Around the green, gained 1.46 strokes. Putting was 1.5. But RSM this year on a similar type of grass, Connor, putting surface, he gained 3.02 strokes putting and won the RSM. At this number, 45 to 1 in a weaker field. Just looking at Adam Svensson here, guys. What else do I have? Houston Open, he was also T39, gained 1.04 strokes. So he puts very well on the Bermuda, and he's from Palm Beach Gardens. He's from this area. So a first-round leader is definitely not out of the question, too, for this guy. It's just going to be putting 4 rounds together in a weaker field. So if you don't have him, Horschel, some of these big names, it's going to be anyone's fight. Like, it's going to be a real dogfight to see who gets this, because it'll most likely be their first win for a lot of these golfers this year. So Adam Svensson, guys, take a shot with him, local to this area, and also playing really good golf. Came T9 last week. And like I said about the last 2 golf winners at this event, they've been in the top 20. So he fits the bill. What do you think of Svensson there, Connor?
He's on my radar. Like I just brought up, he's been playing good golf. And I think this is a spot where he could have a big week. So that's one I like.
I like it. What's going on, Noli? How you doing, brother? Yeah, let's get it. We coming out hot here. We got, 3? I actually went out of order. My bad there. I went with Svensson instead of going my guy Poston. We'll get into Poston here. But I went over a good amount of golfers. We can get into any other questions, guys. Start throwing golfers in the queue for us. We can go over. I've been going just nuts this week, as I usually do with the golf betting. So let's get the questions coming. Next golfer is going to be JT Poston. This was another late addition. I scratched actually Patrick Rogers, who is a local, but JT Poston, I haven't had him very many weeks, Connor. And where does he perform well? On smaller tracks where you need to have really good approach. His approach the last 5 of his last 6 events, he's gained at least almost a full stroke, 1.0 stroke on the field. It came T6 at the American Express, which was on Bermuda as well. T21 at the RSM, T21 at the Hawaii. And we're getting his number at 40 to 1, 45 to 1 first round leader. And I went top 20 with him at plus 180, Connor. JT Poston, just a golfer that's, I expect him to win. I know he won the John Deere, but since then he's been playing really good golf. It's a weaker field. And then one other thing that's really going for JT Poston, guys, see if I missed anything on him, is his approach. His approach from about 150 on the fairway. Where am I here? So many notes. JT Poston, he's 40th. That was the big stat. Like, he's 40th in the PGA, Connor, from 150 in on the fairway. So he should be not losing many strokes. He gets a hot putter. Look out for our guy JT Poston. The postman could show up here, deliver some mail, cash us some tickets. Coming off a miscut too. All his stats too that I like to go over: par 4s, par 3s, bogey avoidance, approach, driving accuracy are all in the top 100. So JT Poston had to make the card, Connor.
Yeah, he's a guy I used in Hawaii. Didn't want him on the California swing, and but I'll be looking at here in Florida because I think he could even win here. Maybe you talked about last year with the John Deere. He had him, and he was big. So maybe in a field like this, he could get it done. So yeah, I'm a fan of the postman.
Yeah, absolutely. The smaller tracks, RBC last year too, guys. Heritage came T3. The Travelers, which is a smaller track, came T2. So these smaller tracks, even Hawaii this year, T21. look out for JT Poston. This track should be just perfect for him, and his game right now is coming into form. So I think we're getting a nice number, 40-1, 45-1, first round leader. Now we'll go with a bit of a bomb here. I had to do a little research on this guy, Ben Taylor. Anyone know who Ben Taylor is? Going once, going twice. I'll tell you about him here. Ben Taylor. He actually came up from Louisiana State there, Connor. So he actually plays in this kind of climate. This is where he played college golf, actually from England there. But his approach is where he thrives. At the Hawaii, he was fourth, came T4. And then at the Houston Open, which is a very tough track, he was 1.84 putting on that surface, which is the same surface he's going to have this week. And he came third. So RSM, he also had a T21. This is where you want to bet on Ben Taylor. Now, him to win is going to be tough. I got a plus 100. I also have him in a top 20, plus 333, but I'm probably going to sprinkle a little top 10 in there too, Connor, at like what, plus maybe 700. Ben Taylor, just weaker field. Expect kind of a name that you're not familiar with to kind of jump off the screen. Just some more things about Ben Taylor. Yeah, I went over the Hawaii RSM and the Houston, and then he even came T39 at the Sanderson and gained 1.58 strokes on that putting surface. So he checks all the boxes right now, Ben Taylor. What is he? 63rd in approach from 150 in. And then he's 30th in bogey avoidance too, Connor. So at 100-1, that's enough for me. Also having guys 75-1, first round leader. He's 46th in first round scoring this year. So I think he can get it done for us there at a bit of a long shot in Ben Taylor. You got anything on Ben Taylor, Connor?
He's a good golfer. He had a good week. He didn't have a great Sunday yesterday. I think he was a couple over, but he's out of the two Taylors. Sometimes we're like, where's my guy Nick Taylor? You see Ben Taylor, especially lately. I don't think I use him, but good luck.
I'll probably need it with Ben Taylor. But going over some other golfers, Connor, I'll let you take the wheel here in just a sec. Ben Griffin, really good at approach. He's another golfer. Maybe sprinkle a matchup bet or top 20. Excuse me. But yeah, no, Will Gordon is another guy. I'm going to sprinkle first round leader on Connor. He's third in first round score. Yeah, third first round scoring, 66-1. All of his stats are in the top 100 that I like to see. So there's no reason for me not to take Will Gordon. Just first round leader, guys, 66-1. So we have 7. We're going to have 8 first round leaders. I'm going to go over one more in just a second. But also Will Gordon, Connor, T40. We'll take him just because as the rounds go on, that's kind of not what's where Will Gordon will fall apart. But take him T40 plus 115, first round leader, 66-1. We like those big bombs. And then the last one's going to be Hayden Buckley. Now I'm close to taking Hayden Buckley, Connor, as an outright. He's from this area, played really well at the Hawaii, almost won that event, and just checks a lot of boxes here. So I'm going to take him as a first-round leader because he comes out of the gate pretty hot. He's 18th this year in first-round scoring, so 55-1 on Hayden Buckley, along with the top 20 at plus 260 to really cap off my card. Take the wheel, brother.
You mentioned some of those guys that maybe not success, but because I had written down Griffin, Gordon, Wu, and Hodges. This guy, T9 here. Yeah, he finished 18th. He kind of faltered a little bit on Sunday, but he's been playing good golf. I think he's a guy that you could look at this week for at least, top 10, 20 in that regard. I think we go to the top real quick. I think you got to take Horschel and just how well he's played here in the past. It's been a couple years, but 1918 he was the 4th. He's had another top 10, top 20, a T16 in 2019. I think as long as he's over 30-1, I think he's a play. And this is when you want him, is in Florida, is Horschel. So I think he's a look there. And maybe just some crazy, wild balls. I talked about maybe Cam Davis in this one. We've got a tough field. You mentioned McCarthy. Ryan Armour, bombs, but look for top 20s, 30s, 40s.
He's a local.
Yeah, even the guy Ryan Miller playing a little bit better golf. Just down the line, just trying to throw some guys out here. Gay, a few others that I'm going to look at. Huge numbers that I'm going to look at top 20, 30.
Yeah,
I need a big week.
I agree. It's tough times. We got the big event coming up here too soon with the Pubbapalooza 2, guys. If you don't already know, the 24th, I believe, the 26th, we got a big event going on there. It is UFC poker par 3. So we got our golf included, which can't wait for that, Connor. And then a little horse racing to cap off the Sunday. So if you guys, by all means, come on down, meet all of us, all the faces you see on Pub Sports, and just have a good old time. We got a bar too that Jeff owns. So I know we'll be going back to the bar as well. Just a real good time, good weekend away, especially as a Canuck. I like to see some green grass and to go golfing would be really nice to see. So look forward to that. Everyone in the chat, if you haven't already, be sure to check that out. But yeah, if you guys got any questions in the chat, now is the time to bring it up. Some other golfers I'll go over really quickly that I didn't bring up already. Steven Jaeger. He was top greens in regulation and top approach last week. And that's really key. I think if you got your approach and your greens and reg dialed coming into this course, it's like, it's like a nice cheese on a pizza. That's exactly what you want to see. Is it going to transfer over for 4 rounds? I don't know, but maybe a first round leader could be interesting. But again, I got 8 guys first round leader. I can't go any more than that, or I'm going to start getting too crazy. I'm going to start going to AA first round leader meetings. But as of now, we only got 8. Steven Jaeger could definitely possibly make that cut. Aaron Wise, the Wise man, it's tough for him. The price is low. I haven't seen enough to Connor.
I like him, but he hasn't played a ton of golf. I'm gonna wait on him. I just think the number's too low, even though it's just too low with a guy I like with Wise. But he's one of those guys you talked about, very accurate, greens and regulations type guy. Needs to get the flat stick really going to win. Does that happen this week? I don't know.
Here's the thing. His around the green has been really good this year, and his putting has been dialed. It's been his approach, actually, where he hasn't gained that many strokes on his approach. So that's kind of why.
But normally that's his game.
That's his bread and butter.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's not, I don't know, as a golfer myself, if you don't have your bread and butter down, then that's not when he does get his approach down and his putting is around the green kind of come together, then you know what, that's a time to look out for him. So Stimmy, what's going on? Stimmy, how you doing, brother? Day off, gotta love it. Yeah, I hit the bookies. Get these golf bets in too early, guys. The lines are moving just like crazy. It's quite nuts. But cash the over 25. Yeah, appreciate everyone tuning in live. If you have any questions after the show, guys, Eagle47_ on Twitter. I believe it's Conor Mac picks as well. We'd love to answer any questions on golf. So by all means, guys, let's keep them coming. We'll be doing this at the same time, 1 p.m. Eastern, every single week. Pub Sports Radio. We call it the PGA Pub Hub. But yeah, let me go over my golfers really quickly, guys, before we close out the show here. It's going to be a week where you're not going to know many golfers, so it's a good time to tune in. We got Minwoo Lee there, 25-1. Now, Chris Kirk, we're doing a switcherooski here with his boy, Denny McCarthy, who's a local to this area. So we're taking him. His number's about the same, 28-1. Thomas Dietrich, 40-1. JT Poston, 40. Adam Svensson, another local, is 45-1. And then Ben Taylor as a nice bomb at 100-1. And we're adding Will Gordon and Hayden Buckley as first-round leaders, Connor. You got anything else for the chat?
No, shout out to the chat, as always. Thanks for hitting the like. We got over it. The guy back there, Big Show, RVD, Stimmy, Nuke Worker, Noli, Roth Window Cleaning Services, right on, Cab, Christopher Commentini, my man, Dan Kelly, Jacqueline. Shout out to all you guys. And thanks for getting here. Let's get the golf going and let's win. Max Homa, he's still my guy. He will win. And as he said in the post conference, he will win there again, probably. But it was rough this week. We need a big week, Gogster.
Yeah, that's right. Coming off the little can't win them all, but you know what? Honda Classic. I don't drive a Honda, but if I win this week, you damn right I'll be driving a Honda after this week. So let's root them in, guys. Check us out on Twitter as always. We'll be back next week for the big Arnold Palmer Invitational. Connor, be good until then, chat. Get that cash.